Hi everyone! I've been trying to get a little more creative lately with my makeup because I have some more time to record and just more time in general to play around with it. So I came up with some kind of colorful butterfly wings splattery effect makeup. And I'm just using what I have. I can't afford to go buy new colorful eyeliners or liquid lipsticks to use, so a lot of this is done with just face paint and eyeshadow, and honestly, I didn't have any problems. Face paint usually creases really easily, but I had no problem. So I'm starting with kind of a cut crease looking wing, just a nice line above my crease, which I have very hooded eyes, so it's kind of difficult to do. And then a regular wing coming in, getting thinner as it gets closer to the inner part of my eye. If my voice sounds funny, I'm sorry, it's because I just woke up. This is me noticing that I did them different, and so I had to start all over. And then I fixed them both up with concealer. Honestly, I could have just left it here. I think it looks cool. But then I started to add in the other colors. I wanted it to be blue and orange and purple and kind of fuchsia to match my new wig. Well, it's not a new wig, I just dyed it, so it's freshly colored. Every time I was done with a shade, I would pack on eyeshadow to set it as soon as I was done with it. I went back and forth in a lot of palettes, a BH Cosmetics palette, a Jeffree Star palette, and a Morphe palette, a whole bunch of palettes, just to get the shades I needed. Do you guys like it better when people talk over their makeup looks, or would you rather just have it speed through with music the whole time? And I was doing one eye at a time, but when it came to the more extended stuff, I just kept looking back and forth on each eye to make sure that I was getting it as even as possible. At some point, I'd really like to try the thing where you block out your eyebrows. I've never done it before, but I've got a glue stick and a bunch of powder ready to go. I didn't for this because I had planned on making them purple, but I think it would have looked cool had I been able to cover up that tail end of my eyebrows. So does anybody else out there have a slight astigmatism in one eye, or just a problem with one eye? It is very hard, I have noticed, for me to do things like eyeshadow or eyeliner, especially the further it gets out on my face, on one eye, because I can't see. I gave myself a severe headache trying to do some of this stuff, especially near the end. Could have left it there too. I think it actually looked really cool. But I kept going, added yellow. The face paint palette that I use is a giant one from Mayron. I don't know if it's available still. I'll try to look for it and put it in the description if it is. The one I'm using is very old and probably expired, but we won't talk about that. Here's how we're looking so far. back to the blue, I'm just going to fill in the outside of everything and then fade it out and blend it into the rest of my skin with eyeshadow. I'm not sure why it was looking slightly green in some spots. I think it was because I accidentally used the brush that had yellow face paint on it at some point, but we just kept going. Because I had actually practiced this before I was filming and I almost gave up on it because I thought that you could kind of do things on top of each other. So like I wanted to put the blue down first, and then I wanted to do the wing, and then the orange, and then the yellow. But no, with face paint at least, it's easier to go section by section. Then I started adding the little white dots that butterflies usually have. This was especially hard to do since I have one wonky eye, and if my voice sounds different from the beginning of this video, that's because I took a break to finally make myself breakfast, so I'm a little more awake. People don't usually announce those kinds of things in their videos, but whatever, here I am. The eyeliner, I ended up doing this off camera because I had to get all up in my mirror's face. This was hard to do. I still don't have a very nice eyeliner, so I just did my best with what I had. I almost used face paint again. I needed more of a liquid liner, but I couldn't find the one I had. It must have been expired because a little bit ago I had completely cleaned out all my makeup. I've got just a couple small drawers now. It's beautiful and nothing's expired except for maybe my mascara and definitely my face paint. Oh, and my favorite blush. That's definitely expired. Why do I have so many expired things? Nobody come for me. It's fine. I'm just broke. Now I'm making my bottom lip blue and then my top lip that fuchsia purpley color. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I had already started this, so I just kind of went with it. Make sure you let the face paint dry before you put your lips together. And then I'm doing a fun little technique. You can use a toothbrush, or I'm using the back of this, I forget what it's called. It's the little like eyebrow brush thing. And I'm getting the face paint really wet, dipping it into it, and then using my thumb to make it splatter on my face in some spots. I just did a mixture of the pink and some black and white. I can't remember if I did blue, but I just wanted to have a really cool splatter effect. My husband said I looked kind of like old Photoshop advertisements, if that makes sense. That was what he thought I looked like. I thought that was a nifty little compliment. When I had tried to put the little splatters on my lip, it wasn't working, so I took the end of the brush and some white face paint and did it, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I just covered it back up with face paint. And I left my lip plain, and then I just added a bunch of mascara. If I was good at false lashes, I would have added those too, but I'm not, so this was good enough for me. And then I filled in my eyebrows with that same fuchsia color and a little bit of purple. And then, because I felt like it just wasn't enough, I took some pink eyeshadow and I just kind of blended that with the rest of my face, kind of on my hairline and my contour, like my cheekbones and stuff. But I had to be very gentle with it because I didn't want to accidentally brush off some of the splatter effect. And then I popped on my wig and voila, I'm done. I was very proud of myself for finally letting loose and getting a little bit creative. I know it's not the best because it's been... Actually, you know what? It's been never. I've never fully challenged myself to just go for it. So this might not look very complicated to some people, but you know what? This is good. I did some things, and I'm proud of myself. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know if there's anything you want me to try down below in the comments, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye-bye! You can click this video here if you'd like to see more of my makeup videos, or this one here if you'd like to see how I dyed this wig, and subscribe.